All right, so continue where we left off. Now that we've done those reference notes, let's look at the guided notes for 6.1. Again, just solving inequalities using addition and subtraction. So starting really just with one-step inequalities, just like when you learn how to solve equations, you did one-step in equations. So let's start with this example here. Your school wants to collect at least 5,000 pounds of food for a food drive. Write and graph an inequality to describe the amount of food that your school hopes to collect. So let's think about this again. So the statement is saying that they want to get at least 5,000 pounds. So let P represent the number of pounds. That makes more sense than W being pounds. And the value of P must be, so let's think about this, at least 5,000 pounds. That technically means if you're at least 5,000, that means you want to be greater or at least 5,000 or equal to. Okay, so your inequality, how would you write that? Is your pounds have to be greater than or equal to 5,000. So then how would you graph that? Would it be an open dot or a closed dot? It'd be closed. Variables on the left, so you just go on and point that same way, greater than that way. Okay, let's do example 2, and then I'll have you try checkpoints 1, 2, and 3, and then we'll go to the second page. So example 2, basically solving inequality using addition. So this is a one-step inequality. The one thing I have to do to both sides, I don't like the way they write it here. I'm going to stay away from that. So, but I do agree that the only way you're going to solve for n is add 3.5 to each side. I'm just going to do it over here because this is the way we always do it. Plus 3.5, plus 3.5. Your answer is that n is less than 6. N is less than 6 is your solution. So then you'd come down here and graph it. All the real numbers that are less than 6 would work. You could check by substituting any number that's less than 6. So I could choose for n, and it would work. So like say I chose 2. 2 minus 3.5 is -1.5. -1.5 is less than 2.5. So no matter what, it would work. So graph my solution. I'm going to go to 6, open dot. It's all the numbers less than. My variable's on the left. Go down that way. All right. So for the next one, so now maybe you should pause the video and try numbers 1 and 2. 1, 2, and 3 checkpoints and see if you get the same thing as I'm about to show you. All right, so number 1 checkpoint, I think you should have got this. I hope you're looking forward to driving one day. You must be 16 years old or older to get your driving license, right? And graph an inequality. So I don't remember. I don't know why I chose Y. Could have used any letter, but Y is greater than or equal to 16 because you can be 16 years or older, just like you want 5,000 pounds or more. Number 2, hopefully you got adding 3.3 to both sides, so it would be 9.3. So the answer is, again, depending on how you write it, Y is less than 9.3, or you could say Y is this way, less than 9.3. There's a little typo there. That should be an open dot, not a closed. That's an open dot. Number 3, add 7 to both sides. Z is greater than or equal to 11, and so it's a closed dot going that way. Let's take a look. If you turn the page to page 3, let's take a look at subtraction inequalities using one step to solve these guys. So using subtraction to solve these inequalities. So you can see we want to solve for y, -8 here, -8 here. You're left with 3 minus 8 is -5 is less than or equal to y. Or in other words, if you flip it around, you would write it as y is greater than or equal to -5 for that one. So that's what I was writing here, that you can rewrite -5 as less than or equal to y, as y is greater than or equal to -5. The solutions are all the real numbers that are greater than or equal to -5. So now I'm going to go ahead and graph that, and I'm going to go here, -5. Should be open or closed up? Closed. And if I follow that way, my variable's on the left. It's just going to go that way for my shading. All right, pause the video again. Got some fractions and decimals. Good luck with checkpoints 4 and 5. All right, if you did it right, hopefully you got these solutions here. -3 1/4 from both sides, you're left with 1 3/4. So, and then it's going to be less than. So it's going to be an open dot at 1 3/4. It's going to go to the left. And then the next one, -3 on both sides, you're left with 4.2. This time it's a closed dot, and it's greater than, so it's going to the right. So that concludes our guided notes and our regular reference notes, and we'll be doing some practice next.